The rules are simple.
Every week, we watch a new movie.
Then, we discuss it.
Welcome to
Weekly
Cinema. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Cinema. I am your host, Gabe Late, here with my co-host,
McKenna Coleman.
Yes, welcome back. We are here with episode 5. It is
Finally.
a very,
Oh my goodness.
very, I guess not long road to get here. It's only been 5 weeks because that's the gimmick. But you know, it's been a fun one, and we've seen a lot of cool movies. But I am here to sorrowly inform you that we are not doing Bohemian Rhapsody as we said at the end of the previous episode. We had a unexpected turn of events, that being Bohemian Rhapsody being taken off of every streaming service we have for some reason. But anyways, we decided to change it up, and we are instead doing Sweeny Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. And do you want to tell us why, McKenna?
I recently just got back from New York, actually, and I did see this as a stage adaptation. That being very interesting, that the role of Sweeny Todd was played by Tony winner Aaron Tveit, and Sutton Foster played Mrs. Lovett, who was a 2-time Tony Award winner, and the Tobias was Joe Locke from Heartstopper on Netflix.
That's right.
Now, in the movie, this is a bit of a different case, as Sweeny Todd is played by Johnny Depp, Mrs. Lovett is played by Helena Bonham Carter, and Tobias is played by an actor named Ed Sanders.
Yeah.
I do feel, when I watched this movie, that the Tobias was much more childish in the movie than on stage, but that's also just because seeing it live is different.
Right. Well, we'll get into the differences for sure. But for those of you who don't know, Sweeny Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, it came out in 2007. It is rated R. It is almost around 2 hours long, and the quick synopsis on IMDb states, the legendary tale of a barber who returns from wrongful imprisonment to 1840s London, bent on revenge for the rape and death of his wife, and resumes his trade while forming a sinister partnership with his fellow tenant, Mrs. Lovett. It looks like this movie is definitely a surprise for those of you who don't know going into it, but it is directed by the one and only Tim Burton, and he definitely left his mark on it. And it was an interesting take. I'm excited to go into it. But before we do, of course, this show is brought to you by Avon Lake Productions, and it is a division of Anchor News Now. You can see a new episode every week on the channel, so be sure to subscribe. Also follow us on Spotify, and be sure to rate us out of 5 stars. It helps the show a lot. And also, I do want to point out, exclusive to Spotify and Spotify only, if you go ahead and head over to there, you will see that you guys watching on Spotify get much more benefits than those who watch on YouTube, because we have a lot more free reign to do whatever we want on Spotify, and we're not limited to the show's schedule on YouTube. That means that you can find bonus episodes only on Spotify. That's right, after this episode, and we're going to try and do it at least every 5 episodes, you will find a bonus episode that we will post only on Spotify that contains footage of us when we have outtakes, or when the bell rings and we can't really use anything for the show, or when there's moments that we have to cut out of the original show. All of that. It's a bunch of extra footage, and you can see it all smashed together into a bonus episode. And again,
we do definitely have interesting bell talks, and the camera is recording the entire time, so
that's
you
right.
guys will get to see that.
That's right.
Coming soon.
Since the camera and the audio is always recording from when we start the very beginning all the way till we end, there's a lot of interesting moments that are not seen in the episode itself. So be sure to go follow us on Spotify so you don't miss the bonus episode. Coming soon.
Because we can't post it here on
That's right.
Avon Lake Productions.
All right. All right, so let's start it off as we always do. We're going to give our quick review, each of us, out of 10 stars, thumbs up or thumbs down to recommend it. I also realize, I'm sorry about this, we have been breaking that rule. We haven't been giving a thumbs up or thumbs down sometimes, and we've just been giving the review because we forget, but
we'll
try to remember now.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
We'll come back to our traditions. But yeah, I'll go first. So I'm going to give this... It's easier to rate. Sometimes it's easier to rate a movie out of 5 stars than it is out of 10 stars. Sometimes movies are much more complex than others, so it's easier to rate it at a smaller scale. me personally, if I was rating this out of 5 stars, it would be a solid 3.5 out of 5. So I don't know how to translate that into 10 stars because, of course, 5 out of 5 is 10. So 4 out of 5 would be like 7?
8 out of 10.
7 or 8. Yeah, I'd say 8. So 3 would be 6 or 5. So I'm gonna give it a 6. 6 out of 10. That's my review. I know it's a bit harsh. It may realize, but it's of course for many reasons. One, there is of course better movies. I gotta make it even and try and keep it at least consistent with my other reviews for other movies, and try and save higher reviews for movies that are more cinematic, more actual good. And of course, I'm not saying this movie isn't good. This movie was actually a wonderful experience. I was not expecting it to be that dark. You were right. It's definitely, well, of course, I didn't know it was rated R going into it. I thought it was PG-13, but I definitely was quickly corrected. But Johnny Depp.
I'm sorry, the way you said that.
Johnny Depp is such an incredible actor. He can transform into a role like it's nothing. I mean, every single role he plays, he acts like he's a different person. Comparing this to Willy Wonka, I mean, it's like it's two different people. I also got to say, I guess just about the quick review for the movie itself, the reason that it's, as high as it is because a lot of the numbers were actually really good. Was this adapted off the music? I mean, the musical?
Yes, the movie is the musical. Just the thing is, it's without the first and ending number that they did on stage, which actually, if you remind me in fun facts, I will tell you.
Okay. Well, yeah, so it's based off the musical, of course. So it has, of course, the musical qualities. I didn't know this was a musical either. I knew that there was a musical off of it, but I thought this movie was just normal, and not singing. But again, I was wrong, and it was actually a full-on musical, and that also surprised me because Johnny Depp can really sing. But I forgot he has a band, so never mind. But no, he is actually incredible in this. There's a lot of incredible actors in this, which we'll get into. But I guess just again, quick review. It was really great. I had a great time watching it. I just want to say this is going to be a spoiler talk, heavy spoiler talk for this movie. So you have 5 seconds before we say spoilers because you should know by now. We talk spoilers.
This is Weekly Cinema, guys. You should know in the name, hence there's going to be spoilers.
Every time you click on an episode of a movie, that movie is going to be discussed head to toe. Trust me. But I just want to say the twist was incredible. I was not expecting a twist from this movie either, but it was a really great twist.
I guess they proved you wrong with a lot of things.
They did. It surprised me, and that's why it was pretty good. I really liked that in that aspect. But of course, the things they did, I mean, we'll get into what I didn't like, but the reason why it's so much lower is because of just how outdated it is. Of course, it's
the year you were born.
It was made in 2007. CGI isn't great. There are some parts that it feel a little bit bland, a little bit choppy, and of course some parts that just doesn't look like it was really fully, developed. But again, it was 2007. So, McKenna, what is your quick review?
Me? Okay. So
oh my gosh. Guess who almost forgot again?
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I recommend it. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Well, now I can go. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already done this.
Okay.
So this is not a first.
All right.
But it's a first for me. I say 10 out of 10.
Wow. All right. Tell us about it.
This, and I know these two things are very different, but when I saw this on stage, it blew my mind. It was so good. The acting, the characterization, the development, and everything. It was just so amusing to watch that when they adapted this to film, I honestly felt the same way because Johnny Depp did amazing. Aaron Tveit did amazing. Helena Bonham Carter, amazing actress. And same as Sutton Foster. Yes, I may have saw Aaron Tveit and Sutton Foster break on stage, and that was hilarious. But this movie really showcased the musical, and that's what I loved about it. So I say 10 out of 10, and definitely thumbs up.
Well, I'm glad that it adapted the musical pretty faithfully, because of course I didn't see the musical.
It was actually very close.
That's good. That's really good. Cool. Well, you know my favorite part. Let's see if we're right.
Oh yeah, your accurate things that
Yeah,
have gone.
let's compare it to critic reviews. All right, IMDb gives it a 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic gives it an 83%, and Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 86%. While the general audience on Google, who gets to rate it with the Google rating feature, says that 78% liked the movie. Well, that's definitely higher than I thought, but that's incredible. Nice.
I'm a little closer, but I think
You are closer, but I think it is just as far from yours as it is from mine, because 6.5 and then a 10, 7.5. Yeah,
It's okay.
we split it pretty
It's same
evenly.
distance, but
But yeah, no, that's I mean, Metacritic, good job for being at least similar to the other ratings.
congrats
good job.
on being nice, Metacritic.
Yeah, you get a thumbs up this time, Metacritic. Just this time. The hate club will not prevail as for now. But no, that's it's pretty cool, pretty interesting.
Okay, so we're coming back.
All right.
What I liked about this movie, I think, is that yes, it had some dark elements, but then there was also kind of like comedy relief in some parts. Because when they were doing the whole contest with Pirelli and Sweeny Todd, after like the Pirelli's Miracle Elixir part, I love how he broke out into his own song. He wasn't paying attention. 2 seconds later, Sweeny Todd's taking his old time, and then it's like, Todd's the winner.
It's great. Yeah, that's a great moment. I like that a lot.
That made me laugh both on stage and in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I like that part too.
And then I do enjoy the part in the song By the Sea, which this is only the song is in the stage adaptation, but I'm talking specifically about the movie here, that whenever it goes to like her dream life, she's in color, he's still in black and white, which
That's
I
true.
found interesting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a
'Cause
pretty
that
cool
seems
detail.
like a happy dream life type sequence, and he's in black and white. But he does look very unhappy.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I like that. That's cool. I like when I mean, both aspect ratio and color. I like when directors use that to tell a story, because that's pretty cool.
This movie did such a good job of adapting the stage that I think it's a well-deserved 10 out of 10.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I agree. I agree. I guess what I like, as someone who didn't, and it's cool to get two different perspectives of someone who has actually seen the musical and someone who has not. So as someone who is seeing this as a film experience, what I liked about the movie and what I appreciate is a couple things. One, I did like how they didn't hold back with, how exaggerated it was. It was definitely, it had like the musical aspect to it, but of course he wasn't flying around like some movies.
Wonka.
But I do think that it was a pretty fun experience for sure. The scene where, forgive me, I'm not going to be remembering any of these guys' names, but the scene where that beetle, that's it, Judge Turpin's like little guy, the guy with the spear stick thing or whatever, that scene when he is killed is actually, it surprised me. It was pretty brutal, and I appreciate that. I appreciate how they actually showed that in full detail, because it doesn't tell the story as well when you hide it or code it in PG-13ness. But I do think that part was, I appreciate that, and all of the other parts too. That scene where he's just going one after another, killing all the people. I mean, him slowly descending into madness. It was a crazy cool scene, that's for sure. And I thought that was pretty fun. And I also gotta, of course, call out what I did before. The twist, man. I was not expecting that. That was dark. The ending scene was really cool, and the ending like music at that last part where, again, spoiler warning, Sweeny Todd is killed, and it is him holding his wife that he just killed, and it's really a cool scene. And of course, what I like is how they made the blood look like paint in a way. I think they purposely didn't make the blood that realistic, unless they did, which then I don't know. It worked out either way, because I personally think and I think it was an artistic choice, because it looked more like a painting at the end than it did like somebody dying, because of how the blood looked like paint. It looked really pinkish. So I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a pretty cool scene, and I thought that was a really cool way to, demonstrate that end sequence, which was done pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. The last thing I thought was really cool about the movie was the cast. There was very few movies, of course, that have a really great ensemble, and this is actually one that really does. Of course, Johnny Depp playing Sweeny Todd is the best decision anybody has ever made. He did great. And of course, you saw a lot of familiar faces in this movie, like a lot. Like, who's the one that you pointed out to me?
So actually, there was 3 people.
Okay.
There's 3 people in this cast that is from the Harry Potter franchise. That includes Helena Bonham Carter, who plays Bellatrix Lestrange, Alan Rickman, who plays Snape, and I forget the guy's name, but the guy who played Beetle, he's Peter Pettigrew.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, that's
I did
cool.
also see another familiar face, which I didn't know at the time. I had to look this up. Vecna from Stranger Things is Anthony.
That's right. So dissecting it real quick, Helena Bonham Carter, however you say Bonham, but
yeah, I know. I'm like, how do you?
yeah, but Helena is a very familiar face, because you're right. She is in the Harry Potter franchise. And she is in a couple other movies here and there. This was definitely a really cool role for her. It had such a Tim Burton style with her hair and like the way she looked and everything. She did great. She was a perfect cast. But one movie that I recognize her from most is she's in Fight Club, and she is one of the main characters in Fight Club. And as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, well, that's incredible. Helena's such a diverse actor, but she does have such a particular style, that's for sure. She gave me so many vibes from her character in Fight Club, just because of how unique she looks and how unique she acts. That's for sure. And I thought that was a really great casting choice as well. Of course, there's Vecna, and then there's Alan Rickman and Timothy Spall. That's, of course, other familiar faces. But you didn't call out another familiar face, which I don't think you know, but I know, is as soon as I saw it, I was like, there's no way. Sacha Baron Cohen was in this movie, and he played Pirelli. He is in a lot of other movies as well. And he's such an interesting guy. We could have a whole episode talking about him. Like, he is so talented, for those of you who don't know. The main movie he's known from is Borat. If you haven't seen Borat, it is such an experience. Oh my God, you have to watch it. Borat is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
My wife.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Borat is a movie where he goes out into the real world as a character, and what is it? It's like a kind of like a prank movie, but it's not. It's like next level. It's insane.
Think of Impractical Jokesters, but the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And no Tonight's Biggest Loser. Borat is...
And no filter. It's like up to 10. He absolutely killed it in that movie. But again, that and the sequel and Bruno, all those movies, he's a comedic actor, and he goes out into the real world and he interacts with people in a character, but they don't know they're in the movie, but then they end up in the movie. And it's so funny. It's so out there and extra. But he was in this movie, and he did the accent, as you could see, really well. He is a British actor, but he can do so many accents, and that's what makes him special. You know who else he played? What's his name? King Julian in Madagascar.
I didn't know that he played King Julian.
Yep.
That's news to me.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he played King Julian in Madagascar, and as you could see, that just shows you how versatile of an actor he is. His
That's
voice,
insane.
he can do so many incredible things with. And if you watch Borat, it's a whole nother,
Very nice.
accent.
How much?
Yeah, it's completely different. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because he is a great actor, and seeing him in this movie was pretty cool to see. That's for sure. But I know you don't want to talk about this, but what did you dislike about the movie?
I don't really have any knocks on this, I gotta say.
Okay.
Maybe aside from the way that I know this is supposed to happen, but when Anthony barges in on him when he's with Judge Turpin, he's about to kill him and have his moment of like salvation.
Right.
And he's about to like get what he wants, and then he just barges in on him. And,
Right. But again, of course, that's a part of the movie.
Yeah,
it's a
I know,
part of the
but
story.
I mean, like
It's
that,
like-
I kind of just.
It's like not liking, like you said, with like the girls in The Shining. I mean, of course, movies are supposed to make you feel things, supposed to make you upset, supposed to make you happy. But again, that means the movie did a great job, which is good.
I mean, I love the movie. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
I respect it. It's, I guess, okay. Well, personally, again, the CGI, I mean, I know it's 2007, but it just, they didn't have to use CGI. They could have been practical. I noticed a lot of the deaths were practical, which I respect. That made the movie a lot better in my book. But I do got to say that the CGI, when they used it, it just looks so bad. It was so outdated. I know I can't bash this movie for the time it was released, but I mean, there was ways around it, and unfortunately, it dates the movie a lot when they did stuff like that. And I do think that it just didn't work out in the end, unfortunately. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of what else I really disliked about the movie. I guess just everything about like the overall way the movie was filmed. There was some parts that just also, I'm not gonna lie, the acting wasn't great. Again, I can't pinpoint any parts, but there was some points where I remember being like just cringing a little, which isn't always a fun experience. So that's why the rating is as low as it is. But I can't pinpoint anything. So that's you take that as you will, because that's just a general outlook.
So for this, I'm going to name like songs
Okay.
instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Epiphany,
Okay.
Joanna, and A Little Priest. My three favorites in this, like the scene as well as the song.
Okay.
I don't really remember like any lines that I can like just say off the top of my head, but those three songs right there I think are my favorites.
Okay. Yeah, I respect that. What about, do you have like any lines that stick out to you?
I mean, no, not really.
Not really. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
I did though. I also enjoyed the scene. Like I liked the scene where it was near the end where he, spoiler alert, kills Mrs. Lovett.
Right.
They're like dancing towards the furnace,
Yeah.
and he has his moment of like just keep living it, and then he throws her in there.
Yeah. Yep. And then
And that's cold.
yeah.
Throwing someone in a furnace.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way the movie goes.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely wasn't cold for her.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's not my intention. No pun intended there.
Yeah, no, it was very cold-hearted. No, that was a cool sequence. That whole end sequence was really cool.
But I mean,
I like that a lot.
she lied to him about his wife. So.
Right? Yeah. No, they both really deserved it.
And I
what
do
they
think
got. That's for sure.
that's something. Mrs. Lovett kind of encouraged him. I think she's the worst out of the both of them, because
Right.
she is the one who had the idea for the meat pie. She's the one who encouraged him, like, hey, let's kill people
Hey,
and put
you
them in
should
these
kill
pies.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if she hadn't encouraged him, would he be the Demon Barber of Fleet Street?
Exactly.
Would he be killing people?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Would he, like,
I
if
feel
she
like-
hadn't lied to him, then where would they be?
I feel like there'd be like a cool like alternate universe if he didn't meet Miss Lovett and like where he just ends up like being like a vigilante of sorts, like a barber vigilante.
Right,
Rather than
yeah.
just a serial killer.
That'd actually be a fun concept. Barber vigilante.
Throws
Wow.
the little razor at people like a throwing knife.
That's actually incredible. Yeah.
But, I think that's what I,
That's what you like most. Yeah, I like the elixir scene. That whole sequence was really funny.
that song is so ridiculous,
It's
but
so
it's so good.
It's so funny.
Oh my
I love it. That whole part. It's really great. And also the kid who played what's his name? Tobias. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Well,
of
I
course,
mean-
the only little kid in the movie. Yeah, Toby. Yeah, he.
Toby, Tobias, I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
how
you're
you say
fine.
it,
It's
but-
he did great. Another great child actor. I mean, it just blows you out of the water. How well he can sing and act like that. I mean, that was incredible. I don't know how old he was when filming, but he definitely looked
Let me
really
see.
really young, which is honorable. I mean, holy cow. The talent you have to have is insane. It looks like he hasn't acted in anything though after this movie. I mean,
Oh my
he was in
gosh.
Hugo, but
Just
not
kind of
much
a one-hit
else.
wonder.
One hit wonder, one and done. He probably lost his talent after he hit puberty, but
Oh,
you know, it happens. It happens. Oh, just in time, the bell. Okay.
the kid, with this movie being in 2007, he was born in 1993, making him 14 years old when this movie was filmed.
14. So you did the math.
Yeah.
Respect. I definitely couldn't do that at 14, so huge props to him, because holy cow.
And that kind of was when he was going through puberty, so that... The song that you were talking about, the Ballad of Sweeny Todd,
Yeah,
actually...
so hold on. Before, of course, this was in Bell Talk. You can see in the bonus episode, but not everyone's going to see it, so context. They didn't play the Ballad of Sweeny Todd in the movie. Like, they didn't sing it. They played the music from it various times throughout the movie, but they didn't actually sing it as a performance. And I noticed that. I thought that was pretty odd. And it was a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's one of, like, the main songs of the musical. So, How come?
In the musical, they begin and end with this song.
right.
And this song, for the movie, it was actually a deleted song.
Oh.
On here, it says, while there are a lot of songs in Sweeny Todd, not every song from Sondheim's musical made it into the film adaptation. One of the songs that didn't make it in was the Ballad of Sweeny Todd. There were plans to include the song with Christopher Lee as a character called the Gentleman Ghost, but the idea was not included in the finished product.
Interesting.
And he was understanding about the situation, saying, it would have been worse if I had done the scenes but never got to film them. It's a shame the lyrics are wonderful, but these things happen.
It happens. Yeah, I understand. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work in the final cut. Which, I mean, I always respect that a director
Right.
can make that decision. But it is a bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's such a big song in the musical. I mean, they didn't even play it once. They didn't even play it with the lyrics once. But, I mean, I guess they did play it throughout the movie, so I'll give them that.
Another one is Johnny Depp was cast before anyone had heard him sing, because before this, Johnny Depp had said that he had never sung in public. Regardless of the band he had, no one had seen him sing.
Really? Interesting. So this
They
was
just trusted him to
such
do
a
it.
shot in the dark. Dang. There's another movie that did that. Oh, what movie was it? It's a movie that recently came out with someone singing and no one knew that. Ryan Gosling in La La Land. I'm pretty sure this is right. Hold on. Let me look this up to fact check. Because I don't want to be wrong. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is right, but apparently for La La Land, which if you didn't see, please watch La La Land. please. But apparently, what is it? Ryan Gosling, they didn't know he could sing either. They didn't know if he could or not. They only knew he could dance because that's what he grew up doing. But no one knew he could sing, and he was casted before anyone could know that, and he blew them out of the water. I mean, he sung really well in La La Land, so that was really cool to see. Again, I don't know 100% if that's a movie, but there's a lot of moments like that where they just hire actors who don't sing usually, and they just do it, like Wonka with Timothy Chalamet, and it's like
Chalamet. Say it right.
With Timothy Chalamet, and
I don't think that he deserves to have his name pronounced right after Wonka.
yeah. Timothy, you're gonna have to earn that Chalamet back. You're only Chalamet as of now.
Shamalele.
Shamalele.
All right.
It's always the pinnacle of someone's career, though, when they have to sing in a movie. I do think so. I mean, that's incredible that some people can just do that.
This last fun fact before we get into the trivia is that the composer was very involved with the casting process for this movie.
Interesting.
So, while the play of Sweeny Todd had been around since 1846, it wasn't until 1979 that the play would be adapted into a musical by Stephen Sondheim and Hugh Wheeler. Sondheim gave Burton permission to adapt the musical, but only if he was heavily involved in the casting process.
Interesting.
So he did get the okay as long as he was involved.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty interesting. You definitely don't see that normally. But I guess in a musical you have to. But that's pretty cool. That's interesting. I didn't know that. There's some movies where I'm like, I'm just shocked that they can find such incredible people to play some of these parts. Like the fact that they found the kid who played Toby was absolutely like incredible. That's such a talented person, and the fact that they were able to find someone like that out of casting is just really cool. The whole casting process is something that definitely deserves much more recognition. And of course, it's getting its own Oscar category next year, which is really cool. So it is getting the recognition. But no, that's neat. I do like that.
And actually, speaking of Oscars, Johnny Depp was supposed to win an Oscar for this, but he lost it to Daniel Day-Lewis for There Will Be Blood.
Well, that's fair. I heard There Will Be Blood is a great. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen that.
Ooh, future episode idea. Okay, we'll tune in next time for There Will Be Blood. No, I'm just kidding. No, there will definitely be There Will Be Blood in the future, because I do want to see that. I heard it was really, really good, and Daniel Day-Lewis, I think, probably deserved it. But that's cool that Johnny Depp got nominated. Was it best actor?
I think so.
That's crazy, actually. That's cool. Wow. Dang. He was in no, Rango came out later. Never mind. Johnny Depp was on fire during that period, though. He was doing a lot of movies.
Everything comes
Rango
back
on
to
top.
Rango.
Yeah, Rango is so good. I mean, that's such a underrated movie. That's for sure. It's incredible. I mean,
So I'm gonna be a
wow.
bit harder on you with this trivia today.
You're gonna be hard on me with this trivia. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. But first, kind of an easy one. Sweeney Todd was first seen where when the movie opens?
On a boat.
Yes, on a ship.
Okay.
That
was hard.
That was no. Okay, it's gonna get harder. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So lyrics, and you have to fill in the word.
All right.
From No Place in London states, there's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it, and its morals aren't worth what a blank could spit, and it goes by the name of London.
The morals aren't worth what a... Oh, I don't know. Trust me, I don't know. I could not know enough to know that part. What is it?
Pig.
A pig could spit.
So it goes,
That's fair.
there's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it, and its morals aren't worth what a pig could spit, and it goes by the name of London.
Interesting. Wow. I do like how that brings up a point. I do like how throughout the movie, in the musical numbers, it sounds like they're talking instead of actually singing sometimes. It sounds much more natural when they're giving the lines, like when in that part where Johnny Depp is saying, and it goes by the name of London. It sounds like he's talking but singing at the same time. It's such a cool way to perform. I mean, that's definitely, it takes talent to do that. I don't know if you've seen Les Miserables. right?
Les Miserables.
Yeah. And
I've heard of it. I haven't seen
yeah, that entire movie is a music. Like it's not a musical. It's the entire movie they're singing. They don't stop singing the entire movie. There is no downtime when they
awful.
talk. Yeah, it's definitely people did not like the movie, that's for sure. It's definitely a stressful experience because
Fitting
there is
name.
no talking at all.
Fitting name.
It's a fitting name. It matches the movie really well. But yeah, movies like that, I mean, that's definitely taking it too far with that movie, but can you imagine an entire movie where you just sing? I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Hugh Jackman, who is in that movie. He only drank lemon water like the entire time while he was recording, and he lost a lot of weight, and it was like, I don't know. It's such a weird movie. I mean, if you look into the details of that movie, it's such a weird rabbit hole. It's so strange.
Okay. And the last one, who was Sweeney Todd's first victim and why did he kill him?
It was Pirelli.
Yes, it was Pirelli, but why?
He killed him because he was blackmailing Sweeny Todd. In the movie, Sweeney comes back, and when he comes back, nobody knows that he's Benjamin Barker.
Mm-hmm.
And Pirelli somehow found out and threatened if he didn't give him half of his salary, that he would tell everyone his true identity. So he killed him.
Yeah, that's the one you got right.
Sweet. I'm glad. I watched the movie, everyone.
Gabe paid attention.
I paid attention.
All right.
Anything else you have?
No.
No? I mean, we have time. I don't know.
Do you have anything?
No, I didn't have time to look into behind the scenes for this movie. I just got to say, I mean, it was such a cool experience. This was a really fun movie to watch, and I like when a movie is more fun and it doesn't take itself as seriously. Of course, it was serious. I mean, don't get me wrong, it did have serious movie. I did want to ask one thing. At the beginning, when she's singing, what's her name? I told you I don't remember the name.
Mrs. Lovett.
Mrs. Lovett singing. She's talking about her pies.
Worst pies in London.
Yeah. Does she say that she bakes them? She says she bakes cats into them. Did you remember hearing that?
Yeah.
Did she do that?
She did say that, yes. I don't know if we ever saw it.
That's crazy. I noticed that detail, and it caught my attention, and I was just wondering, like, did she really just say that we baked cats into the pie?
Apparently.
I mean,
yes.
that was a funny part.
She also said that in the musical, but however, we did not see it. So
I don't know.
And just trust her on that one,
Up
that
to
she bakes
speculation.
cats into the meat pies before she kills humans.
Right.
Well, actually, I take that back because Sweeney kills, and then Tobias kills him.
Right.
But,
It's
we're
messed
all,
up.
We're all a happy family.
It's so fun. Yeah, so fun. So peaceful, so tranquil. Such a feel-good movie.
No, but seriously, that furnace scene when he throws Lovett in there because she lies to him, and then later on when Tobias crawls out of the sewer and he finds out that he's killed Mrs. Lovett, and he takes, I don't know what he had in his hand, but he kills, oh no, he had the razor and he slits his neck.
Yeah. The scene where she's thrown into the furnace was gruesome. I mean, it was
And let me just
insane.
preface that the musical on stage was not as gory.
Yeah, I'm curious.
At all.
Was there actual?
There was blood, yes, not as bad.
Okay, interesting.
It wasn't like spraying out of their neck. Like
Well,
it was in
I'm
the
sure
movie. It
they
was like,
couldn't afford that.
It was more of like dripping down, sort of.
Yeah.
Like it would a waterfall.
I do gotta mention, I did not see Sweeny Todd on stage, of course, but I did see bits of it before seeing this movie. Have you seen The Office?
Some episodes, yes.
For anyone who's seen The Office, I think it's season. Oh God, I'm gonna test my knowledge here. I think it's season 7. I'm pretty sure it's the last season with Michael. But it's season 7, and of course Andy is the performer, the actor, the singer of that that show. But in the in the show, in that there's a whole episode of Sweeny Todd. Andy is performing in Sweeny Todd, and I can't remember what he plays. I think he plays the role that Jamie Campbell Bower plays in the movie. But there's a whole episode dedicated to him performing Sweeny Todd, and it's like the Ballad of Sweeny Todd's in it as well. And that's how I knew it existed.
I love that
and
song.
saw it.
Okay, this movie does not have a bad soundtrack at all.
Yeah.
Nor does the musical, and I highly recommend listening to it because it is so good.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I liked it. I mean, I didn't like all the songs. There were some songs I didn't really catch me as much. But there was other songs which was like incredible. It was like holy cow. Before I forget though, I mentioned The Office in that episode because the way that they did Blood when performing it in the show is I guess it was a cheaper production, but they used a red what is it, a red, it's like from Zootopia. They use a red handkerchief and they went blood and they throw it out. That's how they did it in the show, and I'm assuming that's not how they did it on stage.
No.
So was it actual liquid?
Yeah.
How did they clean that?
Good question.
And wouldn't that be like a safety hazard for all the performers on stage, or like stage crew?
I mean, I didn't see it like drop onto the floor.
How?
So much
Wait,
as, like,
how?
It wasn't that much.
Okay.
It kind of just like, I don't know how to explain this. It kind of just like was dripping down. Like if you were to like go right here, it's just like, and then it.
Oh, it falls. Oh, well, I guess it does that in the movie, so it doesn't spray.
No.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. That makes more sense.
It wasn't. I wouldn't imagine it was that bad, but.
Well, I was trying to look up how they did that on stage, but it turned into a really questionable search, so I'm just gonna ignore that. But,
Okay.
Sweeny Todd on stage, blood. Okay. Anyway, no, that's a. I wonder how they did that. Did you see like any prosthetics or anything?
No, I mean,
Dang.
where I was sitting, I was kind of off to the side. Well, wait, you know how they have a side, row, middle,
Yeah.
row, side?
Yeah.
I was on the middle, on the side.
Oh, okay.
Like this side of the middle.
Oh, were you really close to the stage?
We're like maybe like 4 rows back.
Dang, that's pretty close though. That's awesome.
But no, I mean, I didn't really see any prosthetic type
Interesting.
things that were noticeable.
So the way
So if they did, then that was very
they
impressive.
either covered it
But-
up really well, or they put it on like the razor or something. They put like some kind of like packet on the razor with the blood in it, and when they put it across the person's neck, it sprayed out of the actual razor and not coming out of the actual neck. Because if you do it that way, the blood will still leave a mark because of course you're cutting it across. So that would be a
Right.
pretty clever way of doing it. I don't know. I'm really curious though how they did that. I like musicals that have like really cool parts like that. Like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice had a really cool. Had some really cool moments where I'm like, how do they do that?
That's
That's pretty
definitely
cool.
something on Broadway where you see it and you're like, how do they do this?
Yeah, that's incredible.
And it's so like, I can't find the word.
Intricate.
No.
It's the first word that came to mind for some reason.
I guess it's just like very interesting to watch in a way,
Oh, okay. It's fascinating.
and how they do certain things on stage,
Yeah.
and then how they adapt it into the movie,
Right. Yeah.
because it will be different.
A lot more freedom in the movie, but you also got to keep that charm of like
And
it
the
being limited
movie-
on stage.
Yes, the movie was definitely more in depth with the blood and the gore and stuff than the stage was. But
Right.
again, actor safety on stage with
Yeah, you can't.
cautionary,
You can't do too much without
cautionary
it being a danger.
actions.
Yeah. No, that's
We don't
cool,
want
though.
anyone to slip on blood.
Right. Can you imagine saying that? I slipped on blood. Oh my god.
So what happened to you? I broke my legs slipping on some blood.
if there was as much as there were in the movie on stage, then yeah, that would
be a concern.
dangerous. Yeah. Very, very concerning. How they do the scene of her falling into furnace? I have an idea of how they could have.
So Aaron Tveit, they were doing the thing where they were dancing toward the furnace.
Uh-huh.
He sort of like picks her up bridal style,
Okay.
and then like a twist around, and then boom, like into a huge furnace.
Oh, and is it like sideways facing you guys, or is the furnace facing you, like you can
The
see
furnace
into
is
it?
facing. You can see into it. You can see
Oh.
like the light.
Oh wow.
You didn't really see the bottom, but she just like kind of disappeared.
She disappears into
So I'm
it.
thinking they like gimmicked the furnace to be like a backstage sort of thing.
That's cool.
Um,
That'd be fun to play.
and the
actually.
same thing with the chair, because they were up on a platform.
Okay.
He had his chair. It could turn into like a bed sort of type thing, and then
Right.
like twist it down, and then there was like a hole.
Oh, of course, like
And
in
then
the
the
movie where they
person
fall.
slips down. They go into like the thing, and then they come out of like the thing down, which is not the furnace, but it's
Right.
the other thing. It's kind of like a laundry chute in a way.
Interesting.
But
well,
they come out because when Tobias sees the body come out and he freaks out.
yeah, that's cool. I think that's like, well, how did they do that? I mean, so if it's that scene in the movie where he kills Beetle and he's sent down and then he falls, but then immediately cuts to Toby's reaction of the guy falling.
They had 2 areas on stage. where
Oh, they had 2 areas.
Light, they had upstairs,
Uh-huh.
and then like the light off. Tobias was downstairs in like the bakehouse,
Ah,
and he saw the.
I
thing
see.
come out.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's
And
cool.
actually, this does remind me of a line when after he kills Mrs. Lovett, and this was not in the movie, but in the musical,
Mhm.
where Tobias goes, "Make me a pie with Krusty's mom."
Yeah, that was great.
And Joe Locke saying that was so funny.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's cool that you got to see Joe Locke perform it. That's really
that
cool.
was definitely an experience, and that actually, fun fact, marked his Broadway debut.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And you wouldn't think, I didn't even know he could sing.
Did Gaten Matarazzo play that part when he was on?
Yes,
So is that like a
he did. He took the place of Gaten Matarazzo.
is that like a rotating part?
Yeah,
Interesting. That's cool. It's like a
and it's like Aaron Tveit took the place of Josh Groban, and Sutton Foster took the place of Annalie Ashford.
it's like that show that just ended, Gutenberg, I think. Something like that. The one of Josh Gad and the guy who plays Veneer in Trolls 3. I don't know why it's
The guy who plays Veneer.
yeah, I
Josh
can't remember
Gad.
his name. What's his name? Hold on.
This is how we name actors now.
Trolls
Apparently.
3 cinematic trilogy. Okay, there you go. Andrew Rannells. So him and Josh Gad made a Broadway show called God, jeez. Is it Gutenberg? I think it's Gutenberg. Yes, Gutenberg. And it's a show about like 2 people trying to make it on Broadway, and there's a role of the producer, and it kept switching every time. So one time the guy who played Beetlejuice was there. One time, I'm pretty sure they got Hillary Clinton. I can't remember though. I think the lady who played Elsa was a guest star on that one time, and it was like every day there was a different famous person that played that role and randomly came out, and it's the person who granted them rights to do their show on Broadway. So it's cool to have a rotating position like that in a musical. I thought that's pretty neat.
That's just the way Broadway is with.
Right. I mean, you have so much
because your contract
access.
only lasts for so long.
Right. I mean, this is the example I'm giving is super short. It's only one day.
I was holding my breath when I saw the insert in the playbill because I know they only do that when there's subs.
Oh yeah.
I was holding my breath. I'm like,
Oh,
no.
hopefully, please, no. Yeah, that would
And then I
suck.
looked and like, oh god.
Thank God. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Actually, the Joanna was the understudy that night.
That's cool. That's cool.
The daughter.
That's cool. That's
But
neat.
it was definitely cool to see on stage.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Sweeny Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This was a fun movie to watch. A sudden turn of events, but again, just never expect us to fully be able to watch a movie. Sometimes, you never know what's going to happen with the thousands of streaming services that there are. But
And
you
with
can.
we constantly switching.
You're right.
streaming
Yeah.
services.
Yeah. But if you want to watch this movie and I guess this is for now. If it changes, it changes. But you can watch it for free on Pluto TV. That's how I watched it. Or you can watch it on Paramount Plus.
Which is how I watched it.
Right. And then you can watch it on YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, or you can buy it on Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. And or you could buy it physically for Blu-ray or DVD. But yeah, be sure to check out this movie. I mean, by now, if you've watched this episode, then there's probably no point in watching it. But I definitely highly recommend checking it out.
Because we gave you like every single twist.
Right,
So.
right. And I hope it was fun seeing a perspective of someone who actually saw the musical on stage in Broadway. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Be sure to tune in next week because we are going to be watching a new movie, and that is Spirited Away. I have always wanted to watch this movie. I have it on Steelbook, and I really, really want to see it. It's a Studio, God, I can't pronounce their name, Studio GB film. They just won an Oscar for Best Animated Picture at the Oscars that just happened for The Boy and the Heron or whatever, and they won Best Animated Feature on top of Across the Spider-Verse. Like, they beat them, so that's pretty incredible. But yeah, we're going to watch Spirited Away. So be sure to tune in next week. Neither of us has seen it right now, but we're going to watch it, and we'll be sure to give you our thoughts on it. But also, be sure to tune in on Spotify, follow us, rate us, all that stuff, because a new bonus episode will be premiering soon after this episode and before episode 6. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But that's all for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Bye.